We have a responsibility to do this at the level we're doing it.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
John, thank you so much for your time this morning. I really do appreciate it. It's busy times because, well, there's always a lot to talk about when it comes to Raven, because there's so many things that are happening and to celebrate. But all hell is breaking loose on June 30th. Not just another album. This is, depending on how we count, your 15th album.
15th
is that
album? Yes.
Is
the
that
15th studio album? Yeah.
Exactly. Is that something that is like? Do you consider yourself like a nostalgic person for which special milestones are important, or 15th, 14th, 36th doesn't really make a difference?
15th doesn't have the resonance that next year will. It'll be the 50th year of the band. So when you start hitting 40s and 50s, that's kind of a big deal.
Yes.
And a friend of mine forwarded me something off the internet, and it was a list of bands who have the greatest longevity, who've been together the longest. And we were in the top 10, and that freaked me out. When you're up there with people like Aerosmith and the Rolling Stones, I said, what? You know, I mean, Aerosmith formed maybe 2 or 3 years before we did. It's like unbelievable. So those things are sobering, but they're also motivational. It's like, you know, we have a responsibility to do this at the level we're doing it.
Right.
And do it well and keep doing it better. And those things are what pushes us, you know. It's good.
Yeah. The last release we saw from the band, not a full-length album, was more a bit of a compilation anthology, almost, we could say, from a specific period of the band. And when we got to talk at that time, it really felt like, you know, we're kind of closing a chapter and we're starting a new one, looking ahead. But just to dwell for 1 second on that anthology, because I remember how excited you were talking about, oh, and we had this little recording from this thing that we found back and we could work on it and it was a fun bonus track. Putting out these kinds of compilation albums, does that today make you more conscious about we need to do a good job at capturing and archiving everything that we do, and because in a few years from now this could be like something really fun? Does it change the way you look at things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy we've done that over the last 10 years, and now there's the ability with a lot of the shows you play, if you just have either, sometimes it's not even a laptop, sometimes it's you know, like one of these guys, like a memory stick, and it's just like, can you record the show multi-track? Yeah. And if you've got it multi-track, that's golden, because if you happen to catch a great performance and the sounds happen to be done pretty well off that, you end up with something like that Stay Hard extra track that was on that compilation. So yeah, that's, and you know, like we tried to do that with a Metallica show, and they ended up just recording a board recording, and we were so mad. It's like, damn, that would have been a good one to have. Yeah. And now you've got a recording that's, you know, it's all, there's no toms on it whatsoever, and it's just, forget it. These days, I mean, everything you do is on YouTube, and it's all filmed, and so, you know, there's no escape. There's no room for an off night. So that is motivational too, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, playing in a three-piece, in a power trio well, not all the time, but for a lot of your career, there's never really a place to hide anyway when you play, right?
No.
Like it's
no
safety
net.
Exactly.
It's the high wire, and everyone's got to cover each other's back, you know.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, but when you're doing, I mean, we just played the Milwaukee Metal Fest, like coming up 2 weeks ago now, and you see a lot of bands, and that all the venues in there were very noisy rooms, not easy to mix, and having a 3-piece makes a huge difference in the sound. All of a sudden, everything kind of comes into focus. You know, these guys were like 2, 3, and 4 guitar players. It just turns into this wall of blah. So, you know, that's always a plus. It's those kind of things. If you've got a guy who's unfamiliar with a band who's mixing, he can usually figure it out in like the first song.
Playing live and having that straightforward sound, and I mean that as a positive thing, that clarity, if you will, that live feel, the album is bursting with that and with energy. We've seen that the broader audience has seen that already on some of the singles, obviously, the videos that have been released. The addition of Mike has fueled that even more, and he's definitely put his mark on this album, maybe more so than ever before, obviously, in a way.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, he was in at the ground floor on this one, where the Metal City songs were already written.
Exactly.
We did some rearranging and stuff, but these, he had ideas, he had riffs, he had contributions to make, and when we were, kicking stuff around, the three of us would be like, no, change this, and we did a similar process to when we were writing the previous album, where we just, try to get it in the best format and listen to it, and then tweak it and tweak it and polish the rough edges so the arrangement was dead on. And then once you've got that together, it's just a matter of the performance thing. So we'd have the arrangement down, and then give scratch guitar tracks to Mike, and he would do scratch drums, trying different ideas. You want to do that crazy blast beat? Well, try it here, but not here. And okay, what about if I did this? And you come up with a more complete demo type of thing, and then you do it right. But there's always that 20-30% that we keep at the edge, and it's just like, go for it. What you got? And that's where the magic is. It's very easy. It turns into craft, where it's just like, play the song and play the song. Whereas you need the sparks and the magic and the, I'm going to just throw the guitar across the floor at this point, or whatever, I'm going to try and hit some ridiculous high note on the vocals. So you try these things, and if it comes off, brilliant. And if not, well, maybe you try something else. But nothing's locked until it's done.
The guys from Priest said, Richie Faulkner, he re-energized our band. The guys from Exciter in Canada said the same when Daniel Decay joined them recently. Not that, because it's almost like, can't believe that I would almost ask it that way, because it's not that Raven ever, or a Gallagher has never been in short supply of energy. But fair to say that Mike's addition has a similar effect on the band?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a younger guy with different influences, but there's common ground in there, but there's a lot of ground that's not, and that's where the fun stuff is. It's like, he's played in death metal and black metal bands, and that has like zero interest to us, other than you can appreciate the talent of the players, and obviously you put a bit of that into a song that's very melodic, and you come up with a new hybrid, you come up with something different. Mike's very, He's like at 110 mile an hour all day. He's full on. He's very enthusiastic. He's very meticulous. He engineered the album, and you know, he's got ears like a bat. It's just like, nah, you missed that. You missed it. Let's try that again. You know, we worked very hard, and it was just the three of us this time.
Yeah.
Where the previous album, you know, we'd started and stopped and had to go. We ended up with Michael Wagner, and then the mix didn't work. We went with somebody else, and all this kind of stuff. This was just the three of us, and we had this guy Lassie Lambert who did the mix at the end, who's fantastic. A guy Mike had worked with on a lot of stuff, and he gave technical help all the way through. So, and that just kept it, you know, in-house, and it worked out really, really good.
You guys want to always bring a nice balance when, especially when you're touring to promote, or when you're playing to promote a new album. So I know that you've done anniversary shows, and there will be more anniversary shows. You already mentioned it, when you've got 50, 40 years legacy, you know, almost every year something can be celebrated, but we'll see some of these songs in set lists, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. We just played, we played Europe. The set in the Milwaukee Festival was pretty short, you know, because everyone was playing short sets.
Yeah.
But previous to that, we just did a short tour in Europe, and previous to that, we did a tour in the UK, and we were doing the All for One album. Yeah, all the way through. And you know, after doing Wiped Out last year and doing All for One, it's nice to just go, okay, let's get back to normality here. We're going to do some new songs. However, you know, next year it's going to be that plus the 50th anniversary. So we get to cherry pick a couple of songs from here and there. You know, like we have people going like, why don't you do a song off Life's a Bitch, for example? It's like, oh, well, maybe we will. You know, let's do that. Let's pull a couple out and mix things up. Because, you know, if we've got the ability to go, okay, we're going to do the All for One album, that changes your whole format. That's like 3/4 of your set.
Right.
And within that, you've got 2 or 3 songs on both that and Wipeout that were never played live. Yeah. Which makes it fun for us. And Mike's obviously, well, I've never played, you know, 5 of these, so that makes it fun for him too, you know. But it's good to be able to look back and go, okay, we did this, and then we did this, and then we did this. And it's not like a lot of the established bands where it's like, oh, they're playing the same set again.
Saxon now also with Silver Lining, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
As is, you know, Alcatraz and Girls' School and quite a few other bands. That label has quickly, quote unquote, become this beautiful haven for you know, classic 80s bands that are still, you know, very much, that are not resting on their past, if you will, or which it seems like everybody that I speak to with bands that are with that label have nothing but fantastic things to say about how that partnership is going. So does it feel to you as well as kind of like this you know, great place for people to come together?
It's you know, not to disparage anyone we've been with before, but
of course,
you know, there's a lot of hard work and care and attention, and these people love what they do. You can tell that right off the bat. Yeah, that's good, you know. And there's definitely a reliability factor where you can say, you know, we need this done, and boom, they're taking care of business. Yeah. So that's good that you've got that. We can rely on that, and we can more concentrate on what we have to do, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Now, maybe to kind of wrap us up and ask a slightly different question. For both the previous album, Metal City, and this album, we're being teased with this comic-style artwork. So when can we get some full-length comic books about the crazy adventures of Raven?
That's something we've got on the back burner. We'll get into it. It's that's a whole thing. You get into that, it starts getting very expensive to do it right. You know, so it's something we've mumbled about. So we'll get to it.
Yeah,
like you say, there's so much going on. Like, we got the new album. We'll have another video coming out to coincide with the album release, which is cool. So that'll be 3. We'll hopefully get to do a couple more. I have on the horizon a box set idea for the All For One album, which will probably be next year at this point. I want to keep it away from stuff, you know. So looking at that stuff, busy.
Yeah. Well, John, thank you so much for your time today. I do appreciate it. I know it's been busy days for you, but I don't think you would want it any other way. Given
Absolutely not.
There you go.
You know, we get to hear, and it's great that everyone, you know, I haven't had to sell it. Everyone likes it. That's I mean, you know, that's good. I mean, we know we got a good record, but it's great getting the feedback that people get it. You know.
Yeah.
And it's you know, it was from design. 10 songs, no killer. I mean, all killer, no filler. Yeah. No killer, all filler, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And not too long, you know, 35-40 minutes. You know, the bands are putting out records 70, 80. It's like, nah. If you've got a strong enough narrative, like a concept album where you can hold someone's attention on that, God bless you, that's great. But if you're doing a rock album and all your tracks are 8, 9, 10, 11, it's like, nah, you're just playing the same riff 50 times. It's like, have some editing, man. Get to the point.
Exactly.
And we got to the point, so that's good.
There you go. And we will see you guys, you know, play that point back to us on all those many stages of throughout Europe this summer, in North America in the fall. And then by the time you finish that, there's already 5 more projects that are about to be released. So it is going to stay extremely busy for you. And John, I already look forward to the next conversation I get to have with you. I'm super excited for the release. It's a lot of fun, a lot of energy there. And I think you'll make a lot of old and new fans very happy with this one.
That's the plan.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Appreciate it, Jasper, man. You take care.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.